people like me. You need people like me so you can point your f***ing fingers and say, that's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy.
To the mother relay, we're covering today's top boxing news.
Okay, we'll start with this. Developments in the potential lawsuit that Claressa Shields means to file against boxing insider Rick Glaser. Rick said, I'm being told Claressa has retained an attorney in South Florida to file a lawsuit against me based on that post. Keep in mind, she is presently suspended from boxing nationally by the Michigan Commission for failing a drug test from her last fight. My attorney looks forward to defending this frivolous lawsuit. Her attorney probably hasn't told her about what is called the slapback law. My attorney will be using the slapback law. Will keep everyone informed.
What's she suing him for?
Because he said he heard a rumor.
Can you sue for that?
You can try. Claressa Shields, via her own social media, stated, ha ha ha, y'all are stupid. Rick came on this internet and started a rumor, put my name and peds in the same sentence. He knows that's damaging, as it spread like wildfire because of who I am and how great I am. Marijuana is not a ped. His sloppy-built ass should have waited for the facts.
She says it's damaging, but in what way is it damaging? Because for you to file suit and hope to achieve damages, you have to constitute what those damages are. Did something Rick said cost you sponsorships or endorsements? Did it cost you any money?
Damages. It's not some ethereal term when we're talking about legalese. You have to constitute why it is he's supposed to pay out money for you to post whatever he posts on his social media, because in case you forgot, this is a free country, and some bit of this is covered under freedom of speech.
Him saying that he heard a rumor? I'm not sure you can sue him and collect damages for that. I'm not sure.
Claressa continued, I blocked Rick years ago. The man was trolling me years ago and saying wild shit. So why I'm even on his brain after all this time is scary. Should I sue him for being obsessed with me too? Effing loser.
Well, the dumb dullards online might eat this stuff up from Claressa, but in a court of law, I'm not sure she has a legal precedent to take him to court to sue him for damages when no damages were incurred.
All of these networks that is clickbaiting on social media are wrong too. Every fighter who has a bad test gets temporarily suspended. I am innocent until proven guilty.
Who's she talking about?
She's talking about ESPN Ringside, who reported on the story as it was, and I guess that she didn't like that.
What didn't she like?
All they said was that she's suspended and she's being investigated, which is true.
She is.
She continued, I am innocent until proven guilty. I am not suspended from boxing as a whole. I just can't fight in Michigan until my trial is over.
That still means the same thing. You're still provisionally suspended.
How exactly was ESPN Ringside supposed to report on the story? She doesn't understand that, like I don't think she understands legalese. Rick Glaser saying that he heard a rumor? I'm not sure that constitutes slander or libel.
You say you're gonna sue him for damages as if damages is some nebulous term that doesn't fall within certain parameters. You have to prove that his post costed you money.
Otherwise, he doesn't have to pay you anything, and all of this will have been a waste of time. Anti-doping expert Victor Conti chimed in on the whole thing, saying, it seems that the Michigan Unarmed Combat Commission needs to immediately revise their swab testing procedure for marijuana. During the Claressa Shields fight night, there was heavy marijuana smoke in the arena.
So she got a contact high.
My understanding is that there were 3 positive tests for marijuana that night. In my opinion, it is the responsibility of the Michigan Commission to protect the health and safety of the combat participants and not to penalize them for being exposed to secondhand smoke with absolutely no intent to cheat. When all the facts come out, it is my hope that the Michigan Commission will take some responsibility for their use of a testing method that is not scientifically valid for sports drug testing.
Bottom line, I don't think Claressa was cheating because I don't think Claressa Shields smokes.
And it's my understanding that she's not the only athlete on the bill that tested positive for trace amounts of marijuana, because the other fighters on the bill were exposed to the same secondhand smoke she was.
It's a waste of time, this whole thing.
So no, I don't think Claressa was cheating. I don't think Claressa was smoking. I don't think the Michigan Unarmed Combat Commission should look to penalize her for what is so obviously a case of catching a contact based on what else was going on.
People was smoking.
It all seems like much ado about nothing.
Over to Saudi.
And what was the Shakur Stevenson versus Josh Padley fight, Josh, who we all know took this fight on very short notice, got stopped in 9 rounds. So what we saw from Shakur Stevenson was more come-forwardness, more aggression, more combination punching, though really just 1 and 2 punches at a time, because he's a pure boxer. That's not going to change.
Coming forward or moving backwards or moving lateral, he's still a pure boxer. The telltale sign for any pure boxer is their emphasis on defense. How much of that is going on? And that'll tell you what you need to know. Shakur Stevenson, even on the front foot when he's letting punches go, he's still defensively minded. He's a pure boxer. It's hit and not get hit.
So he was just teeing off on Josh Padley, landing punches whenever and wherever he wanted to land punches, but it was the body shots that did Josh in. It was the body shots that were most damaging, and you often hear it said that you can recover from the head punches, you can take those, but the ones to the body,
they have a lasting effect where you won't recover.
I think Shakur showed good defensive prowess, mid-range to inside, as opposed to keeping it long and loose on the outside. He spent the majority of this fight walking down Josh Padley,
staying on him. He wanted a knockout.
And he got one after 9 rounds, though some feel that took far longer than it should have for what is supposed to be one of the best fighters in the division, in the sport.
You needed 9 rounds for an electrician?
I'd hate to see how long it takes you to get rid of a bricklayer.
Some people are using this to criticize Shakur. That's what I'm getting at. Would seem that's what Gervonta Davis was doing.
Tweeted during the fight, LOL, to which Shakur Stevenson himself responded, "Stay focused. Lamont is ready to tap that chin."
He tweeted during your fight, LOL. Just your thoughts on that, and do you have a message for him?
Honestly, he got to fight next week, right? So it seemed like he focused on me, and Lamont Roach is focused on him. I think I'm going to go put my bet in on Lamont Roach.
Shakur Stevenson, that could have been a tricky night with everything that's happened during the week, but you must be delighted with how you got through that.
Yeah, for sure. Once I'm in my rhythm, nobody can stop me. My offense, my defense, I'm very sharp.
What next for you now?
I want the biggest fight in boxing. Gervonta Tank Davis, let's do it, bro. Come on.
Send him a message on Sky Sports for us.
I'm the best fighter in the world. Come prove me wrong.
Well done tonight. Congratulations.
Takeaways from the fight. If you were actually paying attention to the fight, Shakur didn't spend all night running from Josh Padley. He was walking him down, staying with him, staying on him, in the pocket, within striking distance, but still being defensively responsible while he did it. So it wasn't a boring fight.
Josh Padley couldn't lay a glove on a kid.
And he's not supposed to be able to, but that won't seem impressive to anyone when it's a Josh Padley you're talking about. Now, if it's someone more game, someone who's perceived as being better, then it might seem more impressive. Somebody like Gervonta?
Because I don't think he'd be able to lay a glove on Shakur Stevenson either. My mind hasn't changed.
To speak as like the pressure fighter and him knowing like my hand issues, I'm going to like be real with you when it comes down to Tank. Tank is not a real pressure fighter. He's not like a guy that's going to throw a million punches around. He's not a guy that's going to make it that kind of fight. He's a boxer first, boxer puncher. So I don't look at it like I gotta worry about the pressure or anything else. Yes, when we do fight, I want to have my hands fully prepared and ready to go. So like I said, I'm going to get on it ASAP and make sure that it's on point and everything is good when we do settle our difference in the ring. But I'm telling you, when it comes to boxing, I am the best fighter in the world. When it comes to being in front of a guy, you got to ask him the question of how is he going to hit me? How is he going to land these punches on me that I done seen him throw a million times? I done watched how many fucking Gervonta Davis fights. I done seen this shit. I done been in the ring with him before. I know who he's watching to get ready for fights. I guarantee you Gervonta is watching Floyd. Guarantee you. That's one of the main guys he's gonna sit there and he's gonna watch. So, bro, I know a lot of things, bro. My brain works so differently. I'm not even gonna go into too much detail on the fight, but once again, I can't wait for it to happen.
A lot of that sounded familiar. Those are the same things I say here on this channel. Gervonta Davis is not a pressure fighter. Just because he's coming forward and looking for a big shot, that doesn't make him a pressure fighter.
Doesn't have a pressure fighter's work rate.
The telltale sign of a pressure fighter is he wants to spend all 3 minutes of a round and every single round in the pocket trading punches.
That's a pressure guy.
Taking one to give one, taking chances.
That's a pressure guy.
Letting go of waves and waves of punches while he does it. That's a pressure guy, and that's not Gervonta. So when he's coming forward and he's looking for a big shot, he's not letting a bunch of punches go. He's trying to draw your lead so that he can counter it, because underneath it all, he's a counterpuncher.
More specifically, a boxer puncher. That's his base style with an emphasis on counterpunching.
So I can see that Shakur has done his homework, he's paying attention, and he knows that stylistically, for all the negative things people like to say about him, he would eat Gervonta Davis up. Gervonta wouldn't be able to lay a glove on him.
Power.
I think everybody would give the edge in power to Gervonta Davis. He is the knockout merchant, not Shakur Stevenson, but power in and of itself doesn't win fights, because if it did, Manny would have beat Floyd.
If power always determined the outcome of a fight,
Then Anthony Joshua would have beat Alexander Usyk, Daniel Dubois as well.
if power always determined the outcome of a fight,
Power is just one ingredient, one aspect of a fight, and power in and of itself counts for nothing if you can't land.
Gervonta Davis wouldn't.
Shakur Stevenson's been working on things, and I see what he's been working on, because he didn't play keep away with Josh Padley. He walked him down, stayed in the pocket with him. It looks to me like he's working on his inside game and being effective within close quarters, because that's where he fought. That's where he fought Artem Haratunian the fight before last, and that's where he fought Josh Padley yesterday, in the pocket.
So then why is so many people giving him a hard time?
Shakur stated the same thing that happened to the electrician will happen to all of your favorite fighters. Bro, I understand boxing better than anybody. Hit and don't get hit puts me above everyone. All work is easy work.
Even with the hand issues?
At the risk of sounding repetitive, we've actually seen this before. Floyd Mayweather had hand issues for a good number of years, yet he was able to thoroughly outpoint everybody they put in front of him.
Regardless if they were a bigger puncher or a bigger guy, a younger guy, hand issues didn't stop him from outclassing a 23-year-old Canelo Alvarez. It didn't stop him from outclassing a hard-punching Manny Pacquiao.
So if you're not paying attention and you don't want to learn from the lessons that time teaches you,
Screenshot it. Screen record it. I'll tell you now, if Gervonta Davis ever finds his balls and fights Shakur Stevenson, Shakur will outclass him.
Gervonta's a counterpuncher. That doesn't change. He's looking for a hard counter. He's looking for the other man to make a mistake. And based on the quality of competition that he fights, they often do. Whether it's Leo Santa Cruz, or Frank Martin, or Rolly Romero,
Mario Barrios.
these are the kind of guys that throw 3 and 4 punches at a time, giving him the opportunity to catch them in between, where Shakur
is a lot more responsible with his output. More economic, which makes for less mistakes.
no countering opportunities. You're looking for a window of opportunity that ain't gonna open.
The issue.
It's not just the promoters and the managers protecting these fighters from Shakur. It's the fans themselves. I saw a guy who goes by the name A.T. Leon Trader say, no disrespect, but Tank is the A-side and the star. He has made it known he doesn't want to work with Turkey. So that means anybody that's trying to include Turkey when he's not needed to make a fight with Tank isn't serious about fighting him.
What?
It's just a roundabout way of saying that unless Gervonta Davis calls the shots, no fight. A-side privileges, A-side tactics.
You already had your chance to use those and you didn't.
Now, Turkey coming into the picture for Shakur Stevenson is a late entry. If it were really about A-side tactics and A-side privileges, Gervonta would have used them. He didn't.
And now?
Well, maybe you were the A-side, but you don't have more money than Turkey LL Sheik, and that really is what determines who the A-side is. Who brings the money to the table? You and your 200,000 pay-per-view buys?
Mika 200,000.
You don't do more than that without a Ryan Garcia. The numbers are out there. We know what you normally do.
And we know what that adds up to. We know how to use a calculator.
So that unless you can offer Shakur more for the fight than Turkey can, you're not actually the A-side.
Forget about Shakur. Turkey can offer you more than you stand to make with anybody else. So if the guy don't hit hard and he don't knock people out, why should you be worried?
You do. You're the knockout merchant. Don't you believe you can knock him out?
There's a gigantic bag in it for you if you're willing to go to Saudi.
Or you cannot go to Saudi. You can keep scratching and sniffing for peanuts in America, fighting the Lamont Roaches of the world.
Your fans can keep stealing your fights while pretending you're the best thing since sliced bread, because that's what they're doing. They're the ones stealing from you.
The guys like Padley and Trader.
You honestly believe this guy's gonna pay $80 this upcoming Saturday to see Gervonta?
While they continue to gaslight the boxing community at large about what Gervonta Davis's marquee value is in reality, I think he'll be lucky if he can even hit 200,000 buys with that fight.
Damn lucky.
No, don't fight him. Don't fight Shakur. Don't fight any of them. Stay the course. You said this is going to be your last year in the sport of boxing? Retire.
Go on.
Because for all of this talk from all of these people, this kid's deathly afraid to fight Shakur Stevenson. So there was a back and forth exchange between Shakur Stevenson and Frank Martin, who we all know swerved him. We all know ducked the fight. Frank said, "I never signed no paperwork, no none. Kill that shit. Just get that hand right, my boy."
What's he saying, that because he didn't sign the contract, it's not a duck?
Shakur responded by saying, "Frankie, you and I both know my managers was OTP with your peoples. Y'all agreed to that shit. Just say the M wasn't enough for you to take the ass whooping."
OTP?
On the phone. They were on the phone with his peoples. It's an acronym. Frank responded by saying, "Quit doing all that talking and put some shit on the flow." To which Shakur responded, says the guy who said yes, then pulled out of the fight. "You can't F with me. You guys are all easy work." I would agree. I would pick Shakur Stevenson to beat Frank Martin comfortably. The issue is that I don't think Frank campaigns at lightweight anymore. I think he's en route to 140 pounds, and it's been some months since we saw the guy. June of last year?
There hasn't been so much as a tentative fight date for Frank Martin's return. It could very well be June of this year before he comes back.
Could be a year. The PBC don't seem to have very many fight dates, though as stated, I don't think Frank will be returning to the lightweight division. No, I would sooner expect Keyshawn Davis to end up opposite the ring Frank Martin than Shakur
at 140.
Because I anticipate that after one or two more fights in the lightweight division, Keyshawn will be moving up. And a Frank Martin fight, that's an interesting affair. I think Keyshawn knocks him out.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure that Shakur would. I think Shakur would out-hustle him and outpoint him.
But I don't think he knocks him out. Shakur's not a knockout merchant. He's not a knockout guy.
The parallel for it is Miguel Cotto. When Floyd Mayweather fought Miguel Cotto and when Manny Pacquiao fought Miguel Cotto. Manny beat the brakes out of Miguel, where Floyd outpointed him. If you're looking at Frank Martin as a common opponent between Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson, it's that kind of deal to where Shakur would beat him, but he wouldn't knock him out.
He's not a knockout merchant.
Though like I've been saying, it's all much ado about nothing because I don't expect Gervonta Davis to find his balls, and I don't expect Frank Martin to return to the lightweight division. This is all much ado about fights that likely won't materialize.
Because whenever you're talking about American nationals, American boxers, that's likely what you're talking about, a fight that ain't gonna happen.